I'm going to be showing you how to tell what items are valuable, as well as tips and tricks to net you more currency during the league. I've learned this through countless hours of game time as well as research I've done myself. Over time, you will get faster at identifying what is valuable using these tips. So let's get into it. So, the first thing I'd recommend doing is getting an item filter. If you've already got this, you can skip this part, but I'm going to show you an item filter that if you change every week, it will adapt to the market, so that it will help you know what is valuable to sell or keep. If you head over to Filterblade, which is a website created by Neversink, who is a very popular filter creator in Path of Exile, you can create or customize your loot filters here. The link for this website will be in the description. So once you're in, select Path of Exile 2, and then you should see what I'm seeing. Here, just sign into your Path of Exile account, and once you've signed in, just refresh the page. Select Create New Filter, and here you can select how strict you want the filter to be. I recommend creating a semi-strict filter and a very strict filter, as starting off with a lighter filter will help you get items useful to you early on. Then once you get far into the end game, you can switch to a very strict filter, as most of the items shown on semi-strict will be invaluable to you from there. So select semi-strict, then click Export to PoE. Name it whatever you want, then press sync or download. Here you can actually have the filter be directly put into the game by pressing save and sync. And done. That's how you create or update your filters. Do the same to create the very strict filter and head into game. Once you're in game, pause it, go to options, then the game tab at the top, and here you can select the item filters you've just created. Once you select your filter, press save and you should be good to go. These filters will remove any unwanted or invaluable items on screen, and it will adapt as you level up. You can put these filters early on and it'll automatically filter the worst items as you progress through the game. One of the best things, if not the best thing to get, is an application called Exile Exchange 2. I'll have the link for this in the description. This tool allows you to quickly check the prices of items in-game to see what other places are pricing certain items at on the trade market. Head over to the website, then press download now. Once downloaded, all you need to do is just open it and head over to PoE 2. Now grab any item or item you've picked up and press Ctrl D. You will see the same pop up on screen as I do. At the top, you can see it's selected Dawn of the Hunt. Make sure it is selected as the same league you're in, whether it is Standard, Hardcore or Dawn of the Hunt. To do this, just press the top, then all the leagues should be shown. Press which league you're in, then press save and you should be good to go. Now you have an easy way to price check items on the go without having to go to the trade website and manually search the item. Knowing what is meta should heavily impact what you pick up, and things not in the meta usually take a long time to sell and probably will not sell at all. And you don't want items that will sit in your stash tabs for a long time. There are two things I usually do to see what people are playing. The first is a website called PoE Ninja 2. This website is amazing when it comes to helping you understand meta, as well as helping you improve on your character as well. I will also have a link to this in the description. Once you're here, press builds at the top and you can see a list of all the different leagues and what ascendancies people are going. Just click on what league you're in at the top, and here is all the data you need. As you can see, Amazon is the most played, with Dada and Blood Mage also being the majority of players. If you click on the Amazon at the top, it will filter all the players to just be Amazon. Now you can see on the left what most of the Amazon players are using. As you can see just from this, I'm able to understand what most of the player base are using. For example, at the bottom left, in weapon configuration, you can see spears are being used a lot. So that means spears would sell better than any other weapon due to the fact that most people are using them. You can also click on specific players and start to understand what modifiers the majority of players like. So if I press on someone random, we can see what gear and weapons they are using. As you can see, this guy is using mostly energy shield based items, and from his items you can see resistances and energy shield modifiers are used a lot. If you do this for a couple of players, you start to see a pattern of modifiers people want, as well as what weapons they use. Bases are normal items that can be used to craft on. Most people like having bases as they can be used to craft insane items. So, depending on what bases are popular, they can net you some currency, as some are considered very valuable. Again, using PoE Ninja 2, you can see what majority of bases people are using. As you can see here, this guy uses a lot of bases with energy shield, and the more players you look at, you will start to notice that energy shield is very popular in this meta. So picking up gear with energy shield as its base is automatically going to sell faster on average than an armor or an evasion base. Some bases are very valuable, so picking the popular bases up and selling them can net you a good amount of currency, as well as keeping them to craft on yourself. Slamming items can be very good and sometimes bad, but for example, if you pick up an item with some affixes being free, you can then use some Exalted Orbs on the item, which by chance can give the item some insane modifiers, which will increase the price of the item by a few Exalts or even a few Divines, especially if the item already has some high tier valuable modifiers. Slamming Exalts on some items can push the price of the gear through the roof, netting you upwards of 10 to hundreds of Divines if the base of the modifiers are insane. If you are low on Exalted Orbs, I wouldn't recommend doing this as it does waste a couple of Exalts and is very chance based. But if you do have the Exalted Orbs, I 100% recommend this, as I personally have gotten insane pieces of gear that have sold for tens and hundreds of Divines. Live Search is a tool on the Path of Exile 2 trading website that can be used to snipe items that are heavily undervalued. You can use this tool to arbitrage items, which means to buy the items at a lower price and sell them at a higher price. Live searching a specific item notifies you as soon as someone posts the item up for trade. It notifies you with a small ping sound indicating that someone has posted the item you are searching for. To activate live search on an item you're looking for, set up the item you want, and once you finish setting up the modifiers, press search, and after searching there is a button on the left of the search button that says activate live search. Live search, if used correctly, can help you find an item you want at a lower price if someone undervalues it, or help you arbitrage specific items you want. This in itself can net you an immense amount of currency if used correctly. So that's all the basic fundamentals that I've learned playing the game, and with these tips can tremendously help you in identifying which items are valuable. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe as I post guides and news about Path of Exile 2 every week. See you in the next one. Peace.